Thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't
Does
have it.
anybody else have a question at this time for Jeff? You can come off mute.
Yeah, I don't. It was a great presentation. Thank you, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Will the slide deck be shared with the participants?
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, I will forward the slide deck to Cheryl, and she can get that out to the participants.
And I'll be able to send the recording as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Cheryl, I think there's a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I do believe that Donnie might have a couple of specific questions. I think Jeff did cover one of his questions, but I'm not sure if Donnie was on here. Jeff,
yes,
I think you said that an SSI check can be direct deposited into an ABLE account.
That is correct.
Okay. And what about, like, say, an insurance benefit from, say, like a deceased parent? Can something like an insurance benefit come into someone be direct deposited as well?
I believe that it can be, because I think it would be viewed as a contribution by the owner of the check. I think it just depending on the size of that benefit. Again, there are the contribution limits, which is $17,000 annually, and that's the 2023 limit. So if that check was greater than that, they would probably need to cash that check and then contribute up to the limit.
And Donnie, are you able to answer? Are you able to ask your questions directly?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Miss Amy, a great segue to my question. Definitely wanted to ask, please, sir, in the scenario, a member in which their cash value of their life insurance policy is causing them to be over $2,000 in their reserve limit when added to their bank balances. Therefore, it would cause them to have a Medicaid deductible or spend down. And could they convert these monies into an ABLE account to continue receiving their Medicaid?
So that's I'm not sure about that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how a cash surrender value from an insurance would work. So I don't want to speak on that. So I am unsure. I just know that the monies that you put into an ABLE account, the first $100,000 of that account balance is excluded from SSI calculations.
And it's not a surrender cash value. Her father, this person's father, passed away. So she is getting a monthly benefit, correct, Donnie?
Yes, ma'am.
So she's getting a monthly benefit. So between that benefit amount coming to her from her parent that is deceased and her Social Security check, it's putting her over the $2,000. So we were trying to, or Donnie's been trying to figure out a way to make it, because her deductible that they are talking about, her family cannot afford that deductible. So we were trying to figure out a way to help this family.
And I guess what I don't know is if the monthly benefit the person is receiving, if SSI would count that as income, because again, an ABLE account is an asset shield. It's not an income shield. So if SSI would count that monthly benefit as income, then they're still gonna include that in their calculations.
So even if they got their SSI check directly deposited too, they would still count that as a asset?
It is my understanding that that SSI would still count what they view as income. Again, I'm not that versed on SSI, so I don't want to guide you wrong. That's probably a better question for someone at the Social Security Administration. 'Cause I'm not sure what all the rules are around what they count as income.
And Don, I want to say, Donnie, I'll get with you. I was working with someone through SSA recently through the Service Source partnership. So we can try to have them for maybe a possible next fin session as well. But I can definitely have a sidebar conversation with you directly.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for your help. Thank you, everybody, for their help.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Disability Rights North Carolina may be able to weigh in on that too, because they have attorneys to help the people with disabilities.
Disability.
Awesome.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I had a hard time signing in. My computer was dead, and so I'm a little bit late. Explain the difference between the $2,000 limit, or is that even still a thing? If my daughter receives SSI and it's in a separate bank account, do we need to merge that with her ABLE account? Do we need to create an
No,
ABLE account?
Yeah, so again, the monies that go into an ABLE account, the first $100,000 is excluded from any of the SSI calculations.
Okay.
So if you put money into an ABLE account, they do not count those assets as resources when they're doing their calculations up to that first 100,000.
Oh, good to know. Okay, and then the other question, we have a special needs trust set up, and we were told initially that if any family members left her something in their will and it went over the limit, if she signed the back of the check, she's in trouble from that moment on. Is that now, this was years ago, we were told that, is that now okay if it's under the 100,000 and she puts it into an ABLE account? Do you know what I mean?
So again, an ABLE account has a $17,000 annual contribution limit.
Gotcha.
So if you're looking at, if you're looking at larger assets like that, certainly encourage you to talk to a special needs trust attorney.
Gotcha. Okay. I hear you now. Thank you. So you can get.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sharon.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm new to Abound, by the way. Thank you guys so much for putting on this
Welcome.
presentation.
Yeah, it's so good to have you this evening. Glad you could
Thank
join
you.
us.
It's been a month, and I love all the videos I've watched because I've learned so much about my own kid. But she's 14. She has Down syndrome and all that good stuff. It's been absolutely wonderful. So this program for me, I'm a contractor rap person. I think I said that right.
Me too.
But my question is, her Social Security check, and now that I'm a rap, how do I figure out that part of it? And I'm thinking that so her little SSI check that she's had pretty much almost all her life, but goes into her little account, and I just kind of use it to do whatever we need to be done with it. But now that I'm a rap agent, do I need to take her, because I'm at this limit thing that we keep talking about, this $2,000 limit and assets and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get in trouble with SSI, and I don't want to lose stuff either. But I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, because again, it's only been 30 days. I haven't called Social Security yet and said, hey, I got a job. And, so what do I do with, is the ABLE account, is that just to make sure that she's protected and don't lose her benefits, and I got to go buy pull-ups and all that kind of stuff? And I mean, what is that? How does this work?
Yeah. So really, the ABLE account is a tax advantaged account. So the monies that go in earn interest, and that interest is tax free when you withdraw it and you spend it on a disability expense. And again, the accounts allow you to save beyond the $2,000 resource limit. So you can have assets greater than $2,000, assuming that they're in an ABLE account, because again, SSI excludes the first $100,000 in an ABLE account from their calculations.
Okay, so her SSI goes in your traditional say truest account. So I can just change that over to an able account and I don't have to touch it anymore since I have a job now? Or how does that
Your
work?
RAP is you, not on her.
Say that again.
Your RAP check that you get it's
Uh-huh.
based on your social security number, not hers. And the only thing that's taxable is the bonus that they give quarterly and any education. Your other
Oh,
stuff is all tax free.
And Sharon, I was going to let you know that through Service Source, we have a benefits counselor. I'm going to contact you tomorrow and link you with Pablo. I feel like that's the resource
okay.
we need to talk about moving forward.
Yes,
Yeah,
good
because
idea.
I'm kind of lost. It's only been 30 days and I don't want to get things all messed up some
Yes,
kind of way.
I'll have a
It not,
separate conversation with you tomorrow and we'll talk about the resources and set up a team meeting. No worries.
thank you so much.
Of
Carol,
course.
you can give her my contact information if you want to. And, just
Okay.
as a reach out. I just went
Yep.
through, I'm on Social Security disability, so I just went round and round and round with Social Security.
Yeah, I
And I
went in there
want,
and had a meeting with, well, I'm sort of a windbag, so believe me, they'll let me talk to them for 2 hours. I knew that lady had to go to lunch, but she just wanted to sit there and talk to me. We had a good time too, but anyway,
I
let
love
me
it. I
stop
love it.
because I know we're about done, but I don't want to turn no windbag, but
Oh, no worries. I appreciate both of your reports and I'll definitely be reaching out. Thank you
Okay.
both so
okay.
much.
All right. Thank you.
And I think we had a question from Joan. If you'd like to unmute and ask your question or drop it in the chat for us. We'll give it a second. While we're waiting, if anyone else has a question. I know, Jeff, you did such a great job.
Well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Sherelle, I've
Yes,
got
you
a
did.
question,
Oh, thank you, Beth. Go ahead.
and I'm not going to do this question justice, but I feel like we get this question a lot in our role. And you kind of hit on this a minute ago. I think it may have answered my question, but if an individual gets a job and they're trying to protect some of their benefits and not have that max, I think you made a statement about it's an asset shield and not an income shield. So if they're making a certain amount that's going to push them over the limit, it's not going to protect them by quick putting it in the able account. It's an asset shield, not an income shield. Am I correct in that?
You are correct in that. So if you have an account owner that is working and they're taking their paycheck and putting it into an able account, SSI will still count that as income.
Okay.
That's helpful. I think we get that question a lot. So thank you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a question? Let me double check the chat.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, my daughter's sitting right with here and she's getting ready to get her associate's degree in December and start looking for a job. She wants to know, I know it depends on where you put the money, but what would be the maximum amount she could get as a monthly paycheck or if she were to take some sort of employment? Is there a cap on that? If you run it through Enable or Able account and it's more than 17,000, that's a trouble. So there has got to be some kind of limit, right?
So again, on an able account, there's a $17,000 limit. If the person is working,
Yes.
they can contribute an extra amount, which would be the lesser of their earned income or the one person poverty level for the prior year. For 2022, that was 13,590. So if they had the means, they could do the 17,000 plus the 13,590.
Okay. If she's making that kind of money. Okay.
If a person had the means to be able to reach the maximum, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I believe Jamie had a question, Sherelle.
Thank you.
Yes,
Jamie, would you like
I'm
to answer?
sorry. Yes, can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Go ahead, Jamie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm used to Zoom, so Teams is something new for me. And I'm trying to figure out what is what. But anyway, my question, I came in a little late on the call. So my question is, how do you go about establishing or opening an ABLE account?
Sure. So you can go to our website at ncable.org. And there's a box there on the website that says open an account. You click there, you can open it all online. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to open an account. We do have an account opening checklist there that you can download and look at in advance, so you can ensure that you have all the paperwork and documentation you need to open the account. And the account has to be funded with a minimum of $25.
Minimum opening fee.
25, and I can contribute 17,000 a year.
Friends, family, anybody and everybody can contribute to the account owner's account. And the limit is $17,000 for 2023.
Is that plus the 25? Or subtract out the $25?
So if you open the account this year, you have to at least put 25 in it to keep it open.
Right.
And then you'd have a limit of 17,000 for this year. So that would include the 25 you use to open the account. We have a people that will go through and open an account, and then they will forget to fund it. And after a period of time, the program manager will go back and close any open but unfunded accounts.
Gotcha.
So I have another part of that question as well. In the event, let's say if I pass away and I have monies in 401k allocated to my son who has Down syndrome. So at that point, can those funds be put into an ABLE account so that they won't count against him with SSI?
So again, they could take some of those funds and put into the ABLE account up to the contribution limit, which is 17,000. So, if you had a balance in your 401k that was greater than that, they couldn't take the entire 401k and stick it in the ABLE account because it's got a contribution limit of 17,000.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Do we have any more questions for Jeff?
Well, and this one is, I guess it's sort of related, but if a person were to get married, can they still, and the other person makes a bigger income, is that going to affect the ABLE account? And I mean, obviously, how would that work? Let's say if the disabled family member gets married, has some kind of a job, only puts 17,000 in on an annual basis. Is she allowed to be married? I mean, that used to be that, okay, they are now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're married or not to open up an ABLE account. And again, you don't have to be on any of the means attested benefits to open an ABLE account either. So you don't have to be on SSI or SSDI or Medicaid or others to open an ABLE account.
Okay, so the SSI question would be going to someone else. I mean, if she's married and he makes a decent income, she wouldn't need SSI, but that wouldn't kick her out of having an ABLE account. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. That's
okay.
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. You don't have to be on those. You don't have to be on those benefits to have an ABLE account.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
I don't see anything else in the chat, so I'll ask one more time if anybody has any more questions. I know we're getting close to 7 o'clock. I want to be considerate of everyone's time, but we do thank you so much, Jeff, for taking your time this evening for our Family Information Network session and letting us know more about NCABLE, and look forward to continuing this partnership with you all.
Absolutely, Sherelle. Thank you for having me again. We have really formed, I think, a really great partnership, and certainly, want to continue to support you in any way that we can, and would like to learn more about the October event as well. So, and then again, as I mentioned, after we're done here, I'll get the presentation sent over to you. If I don't have your email address, I'll have Zora send it over tomorrow. I know that she has your email, and then that way you can get it out to the folks that joined the call tonight.
That sounds great. Oh, I think we do have one more question. Joan, are you able to unmute yourself? It won't let me unmute you. Or if you can drop it in the chat.
Oh, that's the chat.
And if not, if you want to send us a direct email from the invite that was sent out, I can always send it to Jeff and Zora, the team, and then get back to you as well.
I think she unmuted.
Oh,
I don't see that slash.
Joan, can you hear us?
How about Joan? This is Amy Summy, and I will try to look you up and call you tomorrow, or
Joan, I actually, this is Beth Gall. We spoke the other night, so I'm happy to give you a call tomorrow and connect. And I'm happy to connect you guys.
On target.
I know
Thank
exactly
you so much, Beth.
I know exactly who she is, and Joan will give you a
Wonderful.
call tomorrow so that we can get you connected.
Wonderful.
Who was it? Oh, there it is.
And I was going to say, we will be sending this out through Constant Contact once we get the recording and the slides tomorrow. That's where it will be going back out through. And if you don't receive it, just reach out to us directly and we'll make sure you get it as well.
Sherelle, it looks like Marla's on here. She's one of our QPs. Could we maybe send something out to our QPs? I know we've had some questions coming in lately from clinical.
We can send it to the clinical team directly so everyone receives it for sure. Thank you so much, Amy.
No, thank you. Thank you for doing it.
And I think Pamela's typing, so we'll give it a second. Yep, that would be great for QPs. Thank you, Pamela and Marla. I'm so glad y'all could join tonight. And I did drop in the chat, y'all would receive this in Constant Contact. We'll make sure we blast it out as well through social media and in the community group. But we will be hosting our Supportive Employment Symposium in person this year. It will be October 24th at the Hilton Garden Inn in Cary, North Carolina. We'll have more information about details outside of that, room accommodations, ways to fund, and more logistics soon. So we just want to make sure you can save that date. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. Outside of that, look forward to having more information about, it looks like SSA coming up for our next Family Information Network soon. But I just want to say again, thank you for everyone's time. Thank you so much to Jeff Hancock and the NCABLE team for this continued partnership. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening, and just reach out to us if you need anything from advocacy or our IA team moving forward. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. This was great.
Thank you.